People were on the moon before they put wheels on suitcases. We all know that the moon landing took place on July 20, 1969, keeping with the space theme here. But in 1972, the first patent for baggage wheels was granted. During the 1960s space competition between the Soviet Union and the United States, all of this innovation was taking place. However, if we take a closer look at the larger social setting, we can spot hints that explain why a suitcase's wheels weren't as important. Back then, regular travel was a luxury that could only be afforded by the wealthy. Beheading wasn't abolished in the UK until 1973, and France last used the guillotine in 1977. Espionage and treason are two crimes that still carry the death penalty, among others. In 1973, beheading as a punishment for treason was outlawed. However, hanging was still an option until 1998, when the Crime and Disorder Act was amended by the House of Lords to replace the death penalty for treason with a discretionary maximum sentence of life in prison. In September 1977, when Hamida Djandoubi was killed for killing his lover, France last used the guillotine. 3. Harry Potter has been translated into ancient Greek. The Daily Telegraph reported in 2001 that Peter Needham was working on a Latin translation of the first Harry Potter book. Not to be outdone, retired Bedford, England, classics instructor Andrew Wilson produced the ancient Greek translation in 2004. To rebuild a version of the text which would make sense to a Greek from any era up to the 4th century AD, was his stated goal in doing this. 4. Maine is the closest U.S. state to Africa. The easternmost point in the contiguous U.S. is a peninsula called West Quoddy Head in Lubec, Maine. Located about 3,154 miles from El Bedouza, Morocco, West Quoddy Head is also the point in the U.S. that's closest to Africa. 5. Jacks and Jills were once a unit of measurement. Before the metric system was adopted in Great Britain, a gill or gill was the typical single measure of spirits in a pub. An eighth of a pint, or half of a gill, was called a jack. Confused? Everyone else was, too, which is why the metric system was introduced in 1965. Did you know that just 3 nations in the world still utilize the imperial system instead of adopting the metric one? Myanmar, the United States, and Liberia. 6. There's a species of shark that can live for around 500 years. Greenland sharks can live for up to 400 years, and they become sexually mature at the age of 150, according to Science Daily. According to analysis, they have a 272-year lifespan on average. The 2 biggest sharks in this study, however, were thought to be 335 and 392 years old, respectively. The Greenland shark is the planet's oldest vertebrate known to exist, according to this data. 7. Pineapples were so expensive people once rented them as fancy decorations. In the 1700s, pineapples were exceedingly expensive and brought from the Caribbean islands to the American colonies. One pineapple could cost as much as $8,000 in modern currency. 8. More time separates Tyrannosaurus rex from the Stegosaurus than the T-Rex from humans today. During the Jurassic period, some 150 million years ago, the dinosaur known as the Stegosaurus roamed the planet. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates that by the time the Cretaceous epoch began and dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex first appeared about 67 million years ago, Stegosaurus had already been extinct for nearly 80 million years. 9. Giraffes eat bones. They do this because giraffes seek for bones to obtain the phosphorus and calcium their bodies need when minerals are deficient in their regular daily diets, which causes giraffes to become nutritionally stressed. The tongue moves bones in and out of the mouth as they are sucked and chewed. 10. Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire. It's not always simple to compare historical timelines in various regions of the world. For instance, Star Wars was released the same year as the last guillotine execution. The University of Oxford was established in 1096, and the Aztec Empire in 1428. Despite this absurd fact, Oxford Institution is not the oldest university in existence. Before Oxford established itself as a school, India's Nalanda University had been in operation for hundreds of years before being burned down by invaders. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to us for more fun facts like these ones. Have a great day ahead.